Right, it's about time for us to get started. Move these paintbrushes all over. Hello everyone. Soul Commodore back at you again with some more artwork today. We're going to be doing some more painting, finishing up this piece, and then moving on to a painting that I'm doing for my wife for our living room. Yeah. So yeah. Uh, Looking forward to that, especially getting this piece done. But welcome in, everyone. Hello, Elle. Surviving, I feel that. I'm very glad that you are surviving. Did your first art stream in a long time at your usual slot today? Nice, nice. How did that go? I hope that went well. You might hear some background noise, maybe some traffic noise, because I've got the window open because it's nice. It's nice weather out today, so I wanted to get some air circulating in here. You rusty? Hey, that happens to the best of us. My my first stream back doing this kind of stuff, uh, I was fairly rusty too. So I feel you on that. Slide this canvas around. It's not actually canvas, it's paper, but you know what I mean. All right. I know. It's so rude of me. Let me get the palette here. Get that undone. Which one do we want to use? Probably this one here. As per usual, let me know how the levels are. If things need to be turned up or turned down. And let me know if the traffic sounds are too much. I'll close the window. We got a follow. Nice, nice. Smith Grace 56. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. What's the plan for the living room painting? So I'm going to be doing a rainy nighttime street scene. So in our living room, we're planning on having two paintings side by side above our TV. Um, and the I don't know if I've ever shown it off on stream, but I have a painting that's 24 by 36 of a rainy street in the neighborhood I used to live in my hometown. Uh, so it's sort of like a corollary to that. So they'll end up being like kind of partner paintings. Not sure what color we'd start with, but I guess we're going with the peachy color again. Yeah, yeah, and I'll show them both on stream once we switch over to doing that. Well, with Muse Madhouse following us a couple of days ago, and Smith Grace following us now, that we just hit 206. There's 260 of y'all, which is very very cool. It's unbelievable, actually. I uh, I definitely consider it a blessing whenever any of you decide to tune in and watch me work. Thanks, so. Uh, right. We'll add a little bit more white because we need a little bit more paint on the brush here to really cut through this charcoal. To I think clean up some more of these pink edges. Sorry, I'm just there we go. Fixing the view on how did I already get charcoal all over my finger? Well, I know how, because I was over here. You have to always remain vigilant that you're not just smearing charcoal all over the place. I don't know about you all, but I love the sound of traffic. I love the sound of traffic. I love the smell of like, well, smell. I love the sound of one of my favorite bits of traffic noise that I love is the city that I grew up in um, as a child. The house that we grew up in was right smack dab in the middle of two train tracks. Um, Obviously, not like literally smack dab in the middle, but basically there was one set of tracks that would sometimes have freight rail, but usually it was like for the via passenger rail. Um, it'd be a lot of those trains. Um, and then the other one was purely just freight rail, um, freight trains and whatnot. But we lived far enough from both of them that when uh, they would blow their horns, when these trains would blow their horns, you could hear it from our house, but it was distant. It was like way in the distance, and I love that sound. It's one of the things that I miss about living where we live now is that you don't really hear that sound at all. Exactly, El. But I love the sound of a distant train whistle. I remember in high school I wrote a really bad song inspired by the view out my window uh, and the sounds out my window because I would hear those trains like honking their horns, blowing their horns, and there was like a radio tower um, that you could see from my house, and like the radio tower had like that red light at the top that would like slowly blink on and off. And I wrote a song, a really bad song based around that. Um, that I don't really remember the details of. I just remember it was bad because I was what, like 16 when I wrote it. Doesn't mean that 16-year-olds can't write good songs. 16-year-old me couldn't write a good song. All right. Now that we've got that shored up, we're gonna go in and do some more grays and some more whites, and then this piece will be done, I think. Clean off her brush. Very important. I'm a little low energy today because my wife and I basically just relaxed all weekend. Like we slept a lot actually. It was one of those weekends where you don't really realize how tired you are until you have a chance to do nothing. And when we did, oh man, we also we had a couple of late nights because we had a friend of ours like we went to a concert, um and then we which was really fun. It was a really good concert. Um, and then we uh, um, the next night we had a surprise birthday party for one of our friends. So those were really fun because the concert was Friday night, and then Saturday was the surprise birthday party, and then Sunday we just basically did nothing but just nap. Yeah, nothing. Weekends are definitely important for the old mental health to have absolutely nothing going on, nothing to stress you out, just able to relax and truly unwind. Yeah, it was a great time. It was a great time. Um, it just made me laugh because there was so much I wanted to get done, like just personally, uh, this weekend, and then my body was like, "No, actually, we're going to recuperate. You can do all that stuff later." And I'm at the age now where if my body tells me something, I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna listen." I won't fight it. I'm gonna turn the music up just a tiny bit, um, just because, just so I can hear it a little more. But let me know if it's too loud. I can turn it back down. Because really, the important thing is the sound quality on y'all's end, not on my end. One thing that I marvel at is there was I've talked about him before. This Let's Player, Nintendo Capri Sun, who still does Let's Plays. Um, but I watched so many of his Let's Plays when I was in university. Um, and a lot of his early Let's Plays, like the way he had his audio set up, he couldn't even hear the games he was playing, which is just mind-boggling to me. Oh, you know him, yeah, yeah. He is generally a good dude. Um, but yeah, early on, like he would be playing games, he's like, I can't even hear the audio, you know. So because he would like hum what he knew, like say like he was playing like Mega Man, and he would be humming the music that he knew was in the stage, and he'd be like, oh, I don't even know if it's that part of the music because I can't hear it right now. We could all hear it, like the audio was obviously coming through for the viewer, but he heard nothing. I feel like that would drive me mad, especially if it's like good game music. Like if I was doing a stream where I couldn't hear the audio of Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, obviously I'd still stream it for audio, but I'd be a little bit sad that I wasn't able to hear it at all. Well, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. If you prefer your own music, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. I would do that. Obviously, I wasn't streaming at the time, but I would do that whenever I was playing like sports games. Is I would tend to mute the game and just listen to my own music. Speaking of, now that I'm like kind of like, I won't say all the way back, but now that I'm back like more consistently streaming, I still one day do want to do a stream where you all get to listen to what I usually listen to when I'm doing art. And obviously the VOD won't be saved because it'll just be uh copywritten or copyright strike after copyright strike. But I think it'd be cool. So you all can hear what it is that I generally listen to. Tempted to do that in BG3, Baldur's Gate. Nice. I've been listening to my music in my headphones though. Ah, fair enough. Soul radio. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. All right. Get some up here. Go on to the grays now. Paint is all stiff. I feel like it's still usable, it's still pliable, but it must have dried more than I thought. That's okay, because we're gonna paint over that anyway. More white. What I could actually do is well, that's all right, Al. We'll be here for a while still, and even if you're not able to make it back before we're done, that's okay. It's always good to see you, whether it's you're here for the whole stream or you're here for 2 minutes. It's always good to see you. All right, I'm just gonna grab some more white paint real quick. All right, where's my white paint? There it is. Ah. Yep. And when if you're able to come back, let us know what you ate for supper. And also thank you for the lurk. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Thanks for the lurk. Enjoy your dinner. Right. Let's get back in here. My head's not in the way. You always run that risk when you're doing overhead cameras. Just my wife texting me some heart emojis. Unfortunately, I can't text her back because I'm using my phone as my camera right now. This one right here, up here. Otherwise, I'd be sending her some heart emojis back. But I have a feeling that she's about to leave to go on a walk with one of our friends. One of the friends that lives downstairs, actually. She's prepping to go do that. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna have to take some off of this top edge with some just some white paint, but that's okay. It's fairly easily done. And we're gonna come in here, lighter shade of gray. Here's a question for you fine people. Which way do you spell gray? Because we were taught Gray. But I do find that more often than not I spell it Grey. To touch up that pink there. That's okay. There's a couple of sections in here I'm gonna have to touch up. But again, that's perfectly fine. Ah, yes, she's heading up now. Okay. There's a little gray square here that I'm going to fill in. throwing some here too. White paint that'll touch all that up. Because it's looking a little sloppy right now, but that's okay. Okay, so I think that's all the gray areas that I want to do. I'm thinking, well, maybe one more here. On this edge here. I lied. There is one more I want to do. Then much like the other gray areas, I'm going to use white paint to touch up the area around it. Yeah. Maybe, just maybe some gray here actually. I lied again. We're not quite done with the gray. But it'll be a very light gray. And then we'll do some final touch-ups with the pink, and then I think this piece will almost be pretty much done. Oh, there's a very loud bird outside. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Off that brush. Then we'll move on to the straight white paint. To really clean up all those spots and edges. There we go. Okay, and this is, like I said, this is purely white paint. Just to clean up some areas. Probably take multiple layers because white paint isn't very opaque. At least this white paint isn't. Man, that person was listening to some loud music in their car. That's okay though. You're allowed to do that. I certainly I certainly do it. I try not to have my volume so loud that people in their houses can hear what I'm listening to. But I do like listening to my music loud in the car and singing along. If there aren't other people in the car. If there's other people in the car, then I keep it at a reasonable volume. So you can conversate without having to like talk over a bunch of loud music. It's kind of funny how plans uh, tend not to work out because I thought that maybe I had maybe like 15 minutes left in this painting to do. And here we are, almost 45 minutes into the stream. And that turned out to be a lie. But that's okay. Just gonna check something on my computer real quick, don't mind me. Oh, okay. Cool. There we go. Where were we? Cleaning up to do up here. Okay, now that the paint's dried a little bit, we're going to go back over with another layer of white to really cover up the gray that spilled over. Make those edges as clean and sharp as we can. They don't have to be perfect, but I do want this to really look pixelated, and a big part of pixelation is, you know, things looking very straight and very clean. You know, pixels are perfect squares of color, so I'm trying to mimic that as much as possible. White paint. Where else do we need to clean up? We need to clean up over on this edge, but I'm going to use a bigger brush for that. I am, however, going to use the small brush to clean up this over here. The thing what I'm going to do after is use either pencil or a charcoal pencil to kind of reinforce some of the lines through here, um, so that it's not just pure paint. I think that's what I'm going to do. And it'll help like square things up a little bit more, you know, especially the areas where the color matching isn't quite where I want it to be. Now, what's funny is that this white isn't super opaque, but it's much more opaque than the mixing white. This is titanium white that I'm using. But mixing white, that stuff is like basically translucent. Like, good luck getting anything close to opaque with a mixing white, because that white is specifically to use with other colors to help tint them to whatever lighter shade you want. This white down here too. There we go. Here, do some stuff over here. Hey, Nat, welcome in. Thank you for the lurk, and I'm glad that you enjoyed the double camera. Even if my webcam is laggy for whatever reason, I still can't figure out why it is, but hey. But thank you for the lurk. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Hope you're having a splendid day. And thank you for the lurk. Also, sorry I didn't notice your message sooner. I was pretty engrossed in this. That's one thing I hope all y'all and I think you do, because you're all very reasonable people in this community. That I'm very thankful y'all are very reasonable people. But like when I'm doing art or like playing a video game, sometimes you get engrossed and you don't notice a message. Sometimes you miss a message, and it's certainly not me trying to ignore anybody. Just sometimes you miss things because you're so wrapped up in what you're doing. The only messages that I ignore in terms of not responding to is anything that's like from a bot, like any of those like ad messages or anything like that. I ignore the hell out of those. And then If Jake isn't in chat, I block them and delete the message. So I guess in that way, I don't really ignore it, do I? I take care of it, but it's a different type of ignoring, I guess. I don't respond to it, I guess, other than the action of deleting it and blocking the bot. Which I have to say, I haven't noticed as many of them as I used to. Back when I was streaming a little more regularly, like in 2022, 21, 22. I really did want to stream more in 2023. Just life does its things. 2023 was a very, very busy year with a lot of very, very high highs and a lot of very low lows. You know, like my wife lost a very close family member um, early in the year, but at the same time, like we got engaged, and then ended up getting married. You know, it's it's just one of those things, life. But what can you do other than just try to survive it? It's all you can really do. And be thankful for the things that you're able to. One aspect of our wedding that I really enjoyed was for a lot of her cousins. Um, that was the first wedding of theirs that they had ever attended, because my wife on her on her dad's side is the oldest cousin. So a lot of the younger cousins don't have friends that are getting married. They didn't have older cousins that were getting married. It was just my wife, you know. So that was a lot of fun, getting them like being able to experience them experiencing their first wedding. I had been to a bunch of weddings because I have a very big family, and uh, I have a lot of cousins that are older than me. And also there had been some like divorces and remarriages, so I had been in my share of I had seen my share of marriages and weddings with my family and a couple of my friends, because I am older than my wife is. A couple of my friends had already been married, uh, so I had been to their weddings. You know, so I was well acquainted with the process. Did I need some of this peach color? I wonder how peach ended up being like the descriptor for um like Caucasian skin tone, because peaches are not that color. Peach flesh is very like orange reddish with spots of like bright yellow, and then the flesh is a very like yellow orange. So I wonder how that came about. Those things that cross my mind every once and again. I didn't want that much black, but here we are. Put a little more black paint on my brush than I meant to, but that's okay. There we go. A little bit more of that faded one for down here. Okay, that's not it's not looking too bad. Not looking too bad at all. I think I'm going to touch up a few more areas with some white, and then we will set our sights on the final stages. It's always kind of nerve-wracking when a piece is almost done. That's when I find that I really start to second guess myself. I don't know if any of you experience the same thing, but if you do, know you're not alone with that feeling. Yeah, close to the end of a painting is when I really start to be like, ooh. Every brush stroke, you're like, oh, am I gonna mess this up? Which, of course, you're not. But you do feel that way. That's kind of the price of creating, you know. You're in the words of an art critic who was describing Francis Bacon, like you're kind of risking everything on that next brushstroke, you know, or that next pencil line. It's kind of as much as it's nerve-wracking, it's also very exciting. Because it's such a joyous thing to be able to get something that's in your head out into the world so that people can see it, you know. Can it, or like if you're writing, they can read it or they can experience it in some way, you know. It's a very cool thing to be able to do. At least I think so. Okay. I think that's about as clean as we're going to get it. So I'm going to let this dry for a second. Because this paint, like it's acrylic paint, so it's not going to get like dry, but it is going to get a little bit dry. It's still a little bit wet, I mean. So while I'm waiting for that to happen, I am going to get out my eraser and start erasing all of the charcoal marks that I accidentally left on there. Then I'm going to get my duster and blow those charcoal marks away. Well, blow the eraser tapings away. Be really convenient if you could just point the duster at the thing and blow the charcoal away, but that's not quite how it works. I just have to clean the eraser first, get it nice and white again. There we go. Just gonna clean up any errant charcoal marks that we see. Because I want the background of this to be pure white. As pure white as I can get it, at the very least. You try your best to keep it as clean as possible, but every once and again you'll accidentally smudge it a little. Unless you spray a workable fixative on it first, which I totally meant to, but then I got too excited on the prospect of starting the painting part. I completely forgot to actually spray it first, but that's okay. Okay, so that just about does it. So I'm going to go get my air duster. And where is the nozzle for it? Thanks. Go. There we go. Very efficient way to get rid of eraser shavings. So bring this back into frame. And now, well, actually not quite yet. I'm not 100% sure it's quite dry yet. It's getting there though. Check something on my computer. Cue something up for when we switch over to the canvas on the wall, because we're just about done with this piece. Cool. Okay. All right. Where's my charcoal bag? There's my charcoal bag. Now, what do I want to do here? But I don't want it to be like black, black. So I wonder if it would actually be better to use one of the smudging tools just to kind of suggest lines of demarcation between them, you know, between the different areas. Just to kind of reinforce the edges, you know. My favorite one. There it is. Test with the ruler actually. Test on here. It's not bad, but it's a little easier than I want it to be. But that's not too bad. It's actually turning out pretty good. Better than I thought it would. Sorry, I was silent there for a minute. I was again kind of silently panicking in my head. It's like, oh, what if this doesn't turn out the way I wanted? But that it's almost like little blocks, you know. And I'll show you guys like I'll zoom in a little once I'm done. See it a little bit better. one there didn't really work. Get rid of that entire part there. Because now that I'm looking at it, I don't like it. Which, of course, is something that happens, you know. And it's not going to rub any of the paint off, so. And then if there's too much left over, I'll just paint over it, you know? Yeah, I'm going to have to paint over that. But that's going to be easy enough. Very, very light charcoal on the edges here, just to kind of suggest an outline. Nothing but a suggestion, you know. This track almost sounds like something you'd hear in like the old Silent Hill games. At least to me it does. There's elements to it that you would hear in like Silent Hill 2 or 3. Yo, Squid, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for the compliment. Need to grab a shower, but listen to audio. Cool, cool, cool. By all means. Good to see you. Enjoy your shower. Hopefully, it's relaxing. I'm very envious of people who can relax taking baths. I I cannot. Um, I am not a germaphobe in the slightest, but there's something about baths that just ick me. Like, just give me the. I I I cannot relax if I'm taking a bath. I'm sure I've mentioned that on here before, but I'm envious of people who can. I can't do it. Baths baths stress me out. Okay. The human soup, exactly. Also, thank you for the lurk. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Thank you for the lurk, Squid. But yes, you're right. It's human soup. Maybe that's what it is. It's just yeah. All right. Oh, I just smeared all of that. Of course I did. Wasn't paying attention. Well, that's what erasers are for. I'm gonna spray this again with the duster and see what we can. Well, actually, before I do that, I am going to do this one last thing because there's that one area that I wanted to repaint because I didn't like what I did with it. White, there's some yellow in there. White. So I need a lot more white. Like the third different color that this block has been. Like they've all been the same kind of shade, but all slightly different colors. There we go. Okay, let me grab the spray can, the air duster. Get rid of the last little remnants of these charcoal bits and eraser marks. Okay. So now the next step, and I apologize, in the webcam thing you're not going to see a whole lot of me, because the next step is for me to zoom out a little. Because we're going to take this tape off. You'll probably see my head get in the way, and I apologize for that. It's time to finally release this piece. You want to do this, if you're doing this yourself, you want to be very careful with it. Because this masking tape is usually pretty good, but I have had it actually rip the paper before. You want to try to avoid that. Okay. This one on top of everything? I think so. So yeah, just take your time with it. Oh no, that one's. Try to pull the tape perpendicular to the direction. Like you want like a 45-degree line here. And just pull very slowly. Because if you go fast, that's where you're probably going to rip the paper. Slow and steady. Even if the paper does start to come up, you're going slow enough. And you're keeping an eye on it enough that you may actually be able to catch it before it really starts to rip. Just want to be very gentle with it. Just like so. That's one strip done. What's the next one that's over top? This one. And same rule applies for all of the sides. Just want to go nice and slow with it. Very gentle, very careful. Now, if you're not doing anything like this, then you don't got to worry about it. But if you want to try to have a picture with like a nice clean edge on it, this is how I would recommend doing it. Yeah, you might be wondering why I didn't have like the wide tape. It's because I've tried that before, and with the tape extra wide, it actually rips the paper more, just because there's more tape, right? There's more adhesive to attach itself to the paper. which is why I use 2 strips of the regular size of masking tape or painter's tape. Okay, no rips so far. This is a good thing. So what I was just doing there, you don't want to do. I was being risky with it. You don't want to do that. Going faster than I should have. Just being reckless. Okay, 4 more to go. Just gotta figure out which one is over top of which, and I think this one is over top. So this way you get a nice, crisp, clean border. Which is what I want for these pieces. Back over here. Try not to block the camera too much, but if I do, sorry. Just the way it goes. This is coming off very, very smoothly. I'm quite surprised. I'll take it though. Okay, 1 more edge. More edge to go. And then this drawing / painting will be released. Okay, fine. There we go. Not a single rip. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to take my eraser again and just erase around the edges a little bit because, of course, over time, you know, the paper is going to pick up like some oils and some dirt and some remnants of charcoal. So I just want to clean this up so that you can't see any of the edges. You don't have to erase super hard or anything. Ooh. Excuse me. Less me. And come up here and do the same. I just realized my head's blocking all of that. My bad. Go. And then we'll get our air canister again. And I'm going to get my paintbrush again, because there is an area on there that I want to fix up a little. Let's not bump the stand that the camera's on. Not do that. Okay, and I want to get some pure white paint. Just gonna fix this area up here. Not bad. And there we are. That, ladies and gentlemen, and otherwise, is a finished piece. Well, almost. I have to sign it. So I will do that now. Once I put some of this stuff away. Damn artists, always making such a mess. All right, where's my pen? But yeah, that's move it over some. That's our piece. I'm quite pleased with how it turned out, I must say. I wasn't sure how it would, but I'm very pleased with it. Okay, so we're gonna actually sign it upwards. Edge. Just close enough. What's today? The 4th? Ladies. Here we go. Not too bad, if I do say so myself. Very nice. Well, okay, that's that seems a little self-congratulatory of me, but I like how that turned out. All right. Well, I know I said I was going to move on to another painting, but in the interest of time, because to like set up for that, um, I don't think it'd actually be worth it. Because by the time I get that set up, we'd have like maybe like 15 minutes to work on it. It's going to take more work than that. So the next time we do artwork, which will be on Thursday, uh, we'll move on to that other painting that's up on the wall. Um, but uh, yeah, I think uh, I think we'll just leave it at this. Because I like how this turned out. I'm uh, I'm pleased. I'm pleased. You can see like the little like marks that we made in between all the blocks to like make them stand out a little more, make them look more pixelated. So yeah, I like how this turned out. This was a good experiment. Yeah. All right. So with that, I hope you all have uh, had fun. I've had fun. Um, I hope this was a good watch, and I appreciate all y'all watching and joining in and participating. It always makes these streams more fun when people. I mean, people don't have to like chat or anything, but it does make more fun when people are watching. Because I mean, I'd just be doing this by myself anyway, but it feels good to see people uh, looking at what you're doing. So I appreciate all y'all being here. I know exactly who we're going to raid, so I'll just set that up right now. There we go. We are going to go raid Nat again, who is playing Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma. So yeah, just before we leave, thank you again to Smith Grace 56 for following. Because of you, we are now up to 260 followers, which is mind blowing. It's incredible. Um, so thank you all for watching. We're gonna be back tomorrow at 4:15ish p.m. playing some more Paper Mario. Next art stream is gonna be Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then we'll be back on Sunday at like 10 or 11 a.m. with some Celeste. But you could check X or Blue Sky, and I'll always post before the streams that that's what we're doing. So with that, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and hopefully you're able to join us for the raid. And if not, we'll hopefully see you around. All right, take it easy, everybody. If I could get my Oh, wait, no, I didn't want to unraid. Hold on. What the hell was that? We'll re-raid. There we go. Cheers to you too, Squid. All right, so let's actually raid out to Nat this time. There. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, uh, yes, we'll hopefully see you next time, and let's go say hi to Nat. All right, take it easy, everyone.